Hi, I'm Michaela and I'm back for some more coffee talk. I know I look exactly the same as I did before. That's because I'm starting this in the middle of the same night because I thought it might go too long and I got nervous about it. So I decided to just cut it here. So I'm literally just playing this again, but you're seeing this like a week later. So what happened in the last video, to recap, is Gala and Riona were in the coffee shop. Gala talked about, we gave Gala the key card back, but I didn't get like an achievement or anything for it, so I don't know if I did it right, but it was his. But he also didn't seem too happy about it. Also, he was explaining that he wished he'd gotten it back sooner because it was like $100 to get to get it remade. Like it was like a key card that he needed. And so he had it remade for like $100. So, but I don't think I met him before then. Or did I? I can't remember meeting him before then, so I didn't. Maybe I did, and I like missed an opportunity to give it to him. But anyway, gave him back the key card, gave him his drink, gave Riona her drink. They took me. Did Riona take me a couple tries? I can't remember. Someone's took me a couple tries because I was like, I don't remember the order. Multiple people took. I've trashed a few drinks already, so hopefully I don't have to do that anymore for this playthrough, this episode. But we talked about this, the car, like the cars getting vandalized, because that's been happening, that's been going on, and apparently it's a spot near an old library that's not in use anymore, and there also used to be this big dead tree that was there that had all these like things, like trinkets on it that were remembrances, is what Riona called them. We don't have the full story of that yet. I think that's what we're going to get now. I think we're going to get the full story now. So what happened is Georgie, the police officer, is about to tell us what happened, the creepy thing that happened to him yesterday, because he's been doing a night patrol in that area. And then the lights went out. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and take a drink of water. Please forgive me if my voice doesn't sound as good. I'm kind of stuffed up right now because my allergies are pretty bad. And also now I have to do, I'm like, my voice is going to be more tired for this episode than it normally is at the beginning, just because I was starting in the middle. And then also this is a 4 voice episode, well 5 including my own, so it's a lot, so please give me some grace. Oh, and then in the middle of it, when I stopped us, was when the lights cut out, so that's what happened there. Okay, let's get into it. The lights have gone out, and I, as the barista say, hold on. Lucas looks terrified. I like that you could see the steam coming off of the cups. I think it's fun. What a stage setup, eh? Oh. Oh. Phew. There you go. Thank goodness. I did not do that in his voice, but sorry. He didn't say that out loud. Sorry about that. Please, continue. Alrighty. Well, it was near the end of my shift, and I found nothing was amiss. There were only 4 cars parked that night. 2 spaced across the street and 2 on the opposite corners, side by side. My plan was to leave after I walk one last round to make sure everything was okay. And a reminder, you can cover the whole place in only 8 minutes. Okay. Okay. Then, at the end of my walk, I took a drag on my cigarette. Smug as I was about to clock out, thinking 'twas another night job well done. Right? Wrong, as I was immediately faced with the impossible. 3 cars, 2 side by side, 1 across the street. All tires flattened. Huh? That's 12 vandalized tires for you. Okay, so he turned around and then suddenly all the tires were flat? In a span of less than 10 minutes. Oh, wait. He walked down the street, and then when he turned back around to come back and finish the patrol, then they were... That's enough time to pop some tires, though, isn't it? That is so strange. It would take several minutes to flatten just 1 tire, does it? I don't know. I've never tried to flatten a tire before, so I wouldn't know. And that's if you're using the right tools. Right? But that wasn't all. Oh no, it wasn't. Because that was the moment when the streetlights went out, suddenly and all at once. What? Right after that, I heard flurries of footsteps and laughter. They were going further and further away from the scene, and yet I saw nothing at all. Oh, are you sure? Did the CCTV catch anything? The infrareds actually managed to catch something, but the videos weren't clear at all, so I'm still investigating it. Jeez Louise, Pops. That's way spookier than what you told me in the car. But it's cool, though. Huh? I may be laughing now, but I almost peed my pants there, you see. Well, whoever they were, they sure worked fast. Right? I just gave him his words. Anyway, Michaela, I think I want another drink. Sure, Georgie. All that talking... Me too. All that talking is making my throat dry, and coffee just ain't cutting it. Okay, a tea maybe? Roger that. What would you like? What do you suggest? A tea? Probably. How about some tea with ginger and honey? Sounds good. Can you use the red flower stuff you have as a base? Oh, sure. You mean hibiscus? Definitely. Okay, then I'd like red flower tea with ginger and a touch of honey. Okay, so I feel like that means ginger should be second, right? Because if it's only a touch of honey. Okay, so hibiscus with ginger and a touch of honey. Please be correct. I don't want to have to redo it. Ooh. Okay, so jahe we know is ginger. Te must be tea, and then roselle, maybe not. Ginger. Is te honey? No, honey was something else, wasn't it? Susu was milk. Mahe? Maja? I don't remember what it was. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's pretty. Here you go. One piping hot te jahe rosella for you. Oh? What does it mean? Jahe means ginger, te means tea, and rosella is roselle, another name for hibiscus. Oh, so we don't include honey in it. Okay. So it's a hibiscus tea with ginger. Tea, ginger, hibiscus. Anyway. See, a legit herbal drink. Spicy, but perfect for the weather. Good call, Michaela. I'm happy to please. If that's the case, let me join your patrol, Pops. I don't think that's a good idea. 'Cause I'm not scared of ghosts. Real beings scare me more. I feel like I should check this out. Just to be... Oh, 3 of them are the brew pad. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over here to Toma to chill just to see what I've missed. Oh, I got a second thing for Georgie. Born and raised in Seattle, still lactose. I forgot he's lactose intolerant. What's the other second one I got? Riona. Oh, I got her first one. Her birthday is September 18th. I think I have a friend whose birthday is September 18th. Okay, anyway. Wait a sec, kid. What do you mean by ghosts, huh? Jumping the gun a little there, ain't ya? I don't know, Pops. Maybe it's even something crazier than that. This is a really serious problem, kid. Don't joke around like that. Sorry. Interesting. You know something? No, not me. But she might. Right, the tree, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. What about it, miss? It's your turn to finish your thought. I'm so sorry. My voice is like not... I'm not sure if this can be any use at all, but... Officer, are you aware of the story behind that tree? Huh? I recall what you said earlier. People often leave remembrances around it. What do you mean by that, miss? Well, it's because someone passed away there. On the tree? What? Allow me to explain.
I mentioned there was once a flea market on the street, correct?
Right.
They called it the Fairy Market. It was unofficially set up by the transients of the community. Transients being the government's term for unregistered citizens, including all the other uncategorizable beings at the time. Fairies were a part of that.
Like real fairies? There's fairies in this game? We've had elves. I don't think we've had fairies yet. Huh. I remember learning about it. After the war, the government made its first official attempt to sort things out. Organized and equitable classifications was thought as one of the first steps towards civil peace. But it was oversimplified, inefficient, and not speedy enough.
Was all that before the Vindication Act?
Way before that. Many who couldn't register were basically in administrative limbo.
What? That's as good as, not existing at all.
Really? That's horrible.
It was the main reason why the fairy market was created in the first place. To ensure transients' survival throughout the changing times. In more ways than one. The market had no real schedule, therefore. The start of Fairy Week would be marked by flowers strewn along the intersection, just so people would notice and come and take a look.
Sounds kinda too low-key, no? Because it was illegal, silly. Oh.
And that was exactly the problem. The market ran day and night, its format unchanging. At the same time, the economy was slowly reshaping the landscape. People started to spend more, becoming reckless. While the laws were still shaky at best. Then a tragic incident occurred one night. A drunk driver was speeding and went off course, striking a vendor there.
Oh, that's awful.
And the only evidence left of the crime was that tree, standing where there was no tree before.
What? What do you mean?
Wait a second, what? Why did I never hear about it?
How long ago was this?
The accident occurred in 1959.
Dang.
But the market itself was forcefully disbanded in 1961.
Happened before I was born, huh? Yeah, I remember everything now. It was actually quite an infamous case, wasn't it? But due to the nature of the beings involved, most people couldn't help but, well, forget. Huh? We're talking about the late 50s to early 60s here. Post-war media was still quite scarce. And I remember the drunk driver was also the son of a very wealthy individual.
Oh. Correct. But that wasn't exactly the part that made the case so infamous. It was due to the fact that no body was ever found at the crash site.
Was it a treant? Like a tree person?
As well as the vendor being a transient with no legal ID or paper trail. As a result, the court had no choice but to dismiss the case.
But there was a body, wasn't it? Just not the one people might expect.
You mean the tree? Right. When semi-spiritual beings like us pass on from the physical world, some may leave specific landmarkers behind.
Interesting.
Not all can do that, though. Us banshees don't do that. You don't? No. We simply disappear.
Well, it's kind of sad.
So if I'm getting this right, the tree couldn't be used as evidence because it wasn't classified as remains yet. The witnesses were in the same boat, no paper trail. So the driver's lawyer took advantage of those loopholes. And that's messed up. Beyond messed up, Pops. Whoa. I'm boiling.
I'll take a further look into this more, miss. But I have a question for you.
Yes.
You think that vandalism has anything to do with the tree removal?
I don't know. I suppose it might depend on when the acts of vandalism began.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Welp. I better get going then. It's almost time for my shift.
Okay, officer.
Break a leg, Pops. I'd rather not.
Stay safe.
Will do. I'll keep y'all posted.
Well, I better go as well. Got an early shift tomorrow. There's one thing I want to confirm, though, if you don't mind, miss.
Yes.
It's about the fairies passing, and now everyone ends up forgetting about them afterwards. I really thought that was just a myth. I guess not.
Unfortunately. That is why there used to be memorabilia around that tree. They were efforts by those who remembered to preserve the memory.
Well, how does she remember? Was she just told? But it wasn't enough, was it? Else we'd still have the tree. It really makes me question my memory. Are there any people I might have forgotten? Were there events I missed? It is quite scary to think about.
For beings like us, being forgotten is inevitable. So, no need to feel bad about it.
Is that so? Oh, well, I didn't catch your name, by the way. I'm Gala.
Oh, I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you, sir.
Well then, nice meeting you. Good luck with your future auditions, Miss Riona.
Thank you. See you around.
Bye, Michaela.
Take care. You okay? It's getting real late. I still want to talk, but if you're tired, let me know. Have you eaten? Do you want something to eat?
We don't sell food here.
You don't? No wonder your place is always empty.
Well,
just kidding, Michaela. Don't hate me, please. Well, do you want another drink, maybe? I wouldn't mind one. Nice. What do you feel like having? Something without milk, with a fresh feeling and some brightness to it.
okay. A tea? Okay.
I'm also quite partial to the blue pea tea.
Okay, something without milk that feels refreshing. Refreshing to me is like mint or lemon, and bright is also like mint or lemon, right? It wouldn't be like honey or ginger or anything.
Oh, okay. I'll order something for you. May I? Sure. Michaela, could you try this mix? I saw this pretty drink in a video and it looked perfect for Our Lady.
Yep. What is it?
It had blue pea as a base, a lot of mint, and a splash of lemon.
Okay, so it must be blue pea, mint, and lemon, right? Okay. Blue pea, mint, and lemon. Go. Please, please. I think I can mess up one more. How pretty. I can mess up 2 more. Whoa, that is beautiful. Oh, I like the little star bits in it. How cute. Okay. Here you go, miss. From the man sitting right beside you.
It looks nice. Very pretty. I like it. Thank you.
I'm glad you do. And wow, Michaela, it looks exactly like what I envisioned. You're a G.
Oh, I hate that. I'm happy you both enjoyed it.
But man, that whole case earlier though, it was a lot to take in. Also, about the whole forgetting thing, that really gave me chills.
Why?
Ugh. Don't you feel scared? Of just disappearing in the end?
Do satyrs also just disappear?
'Cause I do.
Is that why he wants to be a social media influencer? Is that why that's a thing?
That's why I thought I finally understood you too. I mean, the reason why you wanted to become a soprano your way. The traditional way.
Oh. Care to compare notes? Because I've yet to be entirely certain about that myself.
Oh, huh. Now that's what you call a huge pressure. Before that though, can I ask a little teeny tiny question?
Go ahead.
What inspired you to go down this path? I mean, I may have an idea on why you're choosing the hard way, but why a soprano in the first place?
Because it's been done before.
Huh? Pardon?
Because there was already a banshee who did it before. So I know it's not impossible.
Whoa, for real?
Her part was that of a sorbet aria, and she was not very well known.
What is a sorbet aria?
Oh, I mean, she was a secondary character. Back in the early 19th century opera, sorbet arias would be sung towards the end of the second act, usually before the evening ended. Hawkers would use the time to offer their wares for the last time to the patrons. Often desserts. Hence sorbet aria.
Ooh, I see. Oh, can you guys hear my throat? Oh, Lord.
Like background singing at the end of a show or something?
Yes. Things are different nowadays because people are expected to listen to the end. The first time I heard her voice was on an old recording of a comedy opera. I was still very young back then. She was playing a confused maid role at the very end of the opera, wondering why and how people could act so crazy when in love. But despite her confusion, she thought she wasn't so old that she couldn't find out the reason herself. It was a funny epilogue to the opera. But hearing a banshee sing such a playful and light-hearted piece...
Oh, I'm so sorry, my throat.
It was truly an eye-opener for me.
Oh man, I bet it was.
Sadly, I couldn't find any of her other works, but it always stuck with me nonetheless. So I left my commune and started trying on my own.
That's really cool and brave of you to do so.
I agree.
I have never talked about this before. It's a bit embarrassing.
Nah, don't be embarrassed. I think it's super cool. You're just feeling inspired to push yourself beyond what's expected of you. And wishing to leave a mark on this world.
Is that what you think?
Uh-huh. You're just trying to follow a path that has been traveled before. And that's not always a bad thing, especially for beings like us.
You're just being careful, yet courageous.
Right, because the path you're choosing to walk on is still difficult. Regarding leaving your mark, I don't know. I just feel maybe you're the same as me. Like, what's the point of being born if nobody's going to remember us? Oof. Right, Michaela?
Ooh, I don't want to examine that in myself right now, but you go. You do you, Lucas. You do you. No comment. Yeah.
Aw.
Why do you want to be remembered so much?
Why wouldn't you?
I guess it would be,
Why wouldn't you?
Us banshees see the end differently than most. So, care to enlighten me?
I can't speak for anyone else, but in my case, I was a kid who grew up in a large family, you see? Like, humongously large. Literally couldn't count all my siblings even if I wanted to. 'Cause they're everywhere thanks to my dad.
oh.
We weren't wealthy though, not even close. The money situation was always suffocating us, for real. But sometimes Dad would drop by to give us some money. Though it wasn't even enough to cover utilities for more than a couple months. Then he'd just leave again a couple days later.
Are you the eldest?
Nope. But my older bros had already moved out by the time I hit high school. I was so surprised when my dad gave me the house after he died.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
Which is where my mom and siblings live now.
I'm sorry to hear about your father.
No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it was weird to receive the news of his death from an attorney. Knowing he passed away by himself. And how it took him a week to find out.
Ooh, yikes. Oh.
Natural causes, by the way. So, I mean, how did he check out with absolutely no one knowing? Where were my other siblings? What happened to his ladies? It was just so crazy to me. And I guess it just kind of haunted me.
Haunted how?
My life growing up was filled with disappointment over him, you know? I mean it in the best way possible. My disappointment actually drove me to work hard for my family. I just vilified him in my mind, like shaking my mental fist at him. Gonna do so much better than you, sir, and all that.
I see.
But then I received the news that he left me the house. Like, I know he had no money. That house is probably one of the only assets he had left. So when he gave me the house in his will, all I could think about was what went through his mind exactly.
The fact that he had a will at all was probably already a surprise for you.
Exactly. What am I supposed to think of that? What am I supposed to think of him? And does it even matter anymore? When he's already long gone. Anyway, so my older brothers came back, right? They wanted me to sell the house and divide the earnings.
Wanting a slice of the inheritance pie, huh?
You didn't do that, right?
Heck no. That's why I left for LA. So if they really want me to sell the house, they have to chase after me.
Good call.
Thankfully, my younger siblings and I are pretty tight. We're a good team.
That's a relief.
But that was also why I needed money fast. I needed to send money to help with my family's bills. And of course, so I could stay alive as well. That was why I ended up having to join the production house.
The production house?
Yeah, it was like a bunch of content creators getting together to make videos every day. I was young and naive too, you know? Because it was my first time venturing to another state completely alone after all. So I didn't know better how predatory things could be. Man, this isn't even going to be an entertaining story.
If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to talk about it.
No, it's not that. I just really didn't like that production house. But I needed the money. Someone there saw my vlogs and invited me in. And as one of the youngest there, I tried to get along with everyone. But you see, we were all creators in the entertainment industry, right? Which means we all had huge egos. So naturally, there was somewhat of a hierarchy of sorts. Trying to be all around helpful turned me into the butt of the joke all the time. That didn't discourage me all that much, by the way. I mean, I also learned a lot there, not gonna lie. Still. But what ended up destroying my willpower was actually something real close, you know? Myself. What do you mean by that? Well, in a house where everyone wants to be the main character, each of us would need a solid, distinct persona, yeah? Eventually, I was assigned one too. Which was supposed to be a good thing, but they wanted me to be the worst version of what I am, essentially. With heavy emphasis on what. I had a lot of nicknames too, like, hey, a baby goat. What are you up to now, satyr boy? Here comes the party goatee. Mr. Excess. You gonna go fishing again tonight or what? Fishing? Ugh. We had to go out and try to hit on people. Oh, gross. And we weren't allowed to come home unless we failed spectacularly or scored. Oh. I always tried to be the punchline, though. Because there were always more views when something ended badly. But it was still the worst, because I really had to act it all out, you know? Bothering people for pretend dates, be sort of a dumb jerk just for jokes. Just so all looked fun for camera. Even if scripted, I never really liked doing it, honestly. Because in the end, all of it just reminded myself of my dad, you know?
That is rough, buddy.
And I kept thinking, does the apple never fall far from the tree after all? Ugh. So, yeah, the whole thing just really sucked.
You had it difficult.
Yeah? Well, long story short, being tokenized sucked. The end.
No disagreement there.
Sorry, I swear that wasn't what I wanted to talk to you about.
It's fine. I actually learned a lot this evening.
I just don't want to take up more of your time. So can I just ask you... So can I just ask you a direct question?
Sure.
Great. Would you be interested in guest starring on my new show? I realized I was being dumb the day we first met. I kind of forced my thoughts on you and was just being a general smart aleck. I undermined your straightforward efforts because I was jealous of your solid resolve. Since everything I did was anything but.
But you succeeded eventually, didn't you? And you worked hard for it.
Yet I almost ended up losing sight of why I'd been doing all this in the first place. I went with the flow, made excuses a lot. All to justify the gain, but to what end? That's why I've been trying to put together a talent showcase for those who need extra exposure. It's gonna be a small production thing. It'll be paid, I swear. And not with exposure either. Though it won't be much at first. Because I don't have that much money ready to be used at the moment, so.
Wait, this is a bit sudden, don't you think?
No pressure, though.
How does the show work?
Well, I'm not 100% sure of the shape of it yet. But ideally, it will have like an interview at first, and then I'll record your singing. I'll bring all the gear. I will also be doing all the editing and stuff. It's gonna take a bit of time since I still have my main show to do. But I did start my vlogging journey on my own too. So I can bet you the result will still be quality.
Your show will tank if I'm the first guest. You realize that, right?
If it does, then it doesn't deserve to exist. I don't care about haters, but you do. That's why I won't push you.
I'm flattered. But no thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for considering me, though.
Thanks for giving it a thought. Looks like I have to go.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with what you said, okay? Just bad timing.
Yes, I get it.
Cool. I hope we can meet again like this. If you want to.
Maybe.
I'll take it. Thanks for your time too, Michaela. Sorry if I bored you.
No, truly, it was my pleasure.
Cool. Okay, I really have to go. See you around?
Safe trip.
Alrighty, see you, Michaela.
Come again soon. Okay, you can go now. We've been sitting for about 5 minutes. Oh, this is a long night. Hey, girl. Let me double check this. Okay, yeah, it's just that.
I think tonight was the most I have talked in the past 2 years.
And I'm quite glad to hear that.
Thank you, Michaela,
For what?
for being such a good host.
It's my job.
I know I'm not the easiest being to get along with.
It's always a pleasure to have you and everyone around.
Then I'll be taking my leave. I feel like I have a lot to rethink. But I'll see you again soon.
And we'll be waiting, always. Safe trip, Miss Fiona. And have a good night. Whew, this is a long one, y'all. My throat is dead. Whew. I think I'm done for the night. Why do I keep pausing at the end of nights? Hope everything will work out for everyone. And that is that. The Grinch. I think that was one of the drinks from last time, but I don't know if I ever got it. Green, spicy, and not everyone's cup of tea. Okay, is that like green tea with cinnamon and lemon? Ginger? Cinnamon and ginger. Cinnamon and ginger. I might try that sometime. Okay, like in the game, not in real life, obviously. That is it for this episode. So it was split halfway. So this was the conclusion for the previous night because it was so long. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this. My throat is just dead. My throat is just dead. This is interesting. We learned a lot. Lucas has a really sad past. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about Lucas and about the tree and everything that happened there, and fairies, which I've never met. When do I get to meet one at some point? It'd be cool to meet one at least at some point. Like in the game. Yeah. Again, thank you for joining me. Sorry, like my throat's gone. I didn't do as good with some of the voices. But I appreciate you sticking it out, and I hope you're enjoying the story as much as I am. I think that was about the halfway point. I think that's why it was such a long one. So from now on, I guess we'll see what happens. There's a lot of like stories that we haven't wrapped up yet. So also, I don't have any more items left. So I wonder if I'll have any more or if that's like kind of the end of it, but we'll see. Again, thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.